It's time for us to talk about culture, language. She's all the way from the United States of America, Detroit, to be particular. She's Professor Anita Diop, Executive Director of African Roots and Heritage Foundation, here in Cameroon for a presentation at the University of Yaoundé 1 on reclaiming and establishing the historical Cameroon diaspora cultural identity. It's loaded with so much information, that's why I'm not going to waste any time. Welcome, Professor.
Thank you for having me this morning.
Yes. Is this your first time in Cameroon?
No, this is my fourth time in Cameroon.
So what keeps bringing you back? What do you love about Cameroon that keeps bringing you back?
Cameroon has a swag.
You said it. You said it. I love it.
And I think my swag matches Cameroonian swag.
Right? We're so welcoming, and we know how to celebrate each other.
Yes.
And also celebrate our culture.
Exactly.
So what marks us is someone coming from the United States of America to tell us the importance of preserving our African language. That is touching. Tell us about the main reason why you're in Cameroon this year, today.
Okay. Well, the main reason is twofold. Okay. One, I'm doing a presentation on the importance of preserving African languages. Mm-hmm. In December of 2021, I was made a member of the African Languages Week Coordinating Committee, and it's our duty to promote African languages. Mm-hmm. So many times in our society, we will hear Comment allez-vous or Ciao Bella, and we recognize those languages whether we speak them or not.
True.
But if I say Nanga Deaf,
no,
we don't recognize it. And being born in the diaspora, one of the things that was taken from us is our language. And we always wanted to hear and know what would our life have been had we been born in Africa. So as a child of the diaspora, it's my duty to reconnect with the motherland, to reconnect through language and encourage Africans to be proud of their language, because your language is DNA coded with your identity. Yeah. And the main thing is that when Africans speak their native language, we in the diaspora get to hear the voices of our ancestors.
I love that. Maybe you should tell us a bit more about the African Roots and Heritage Foundation.
Okay. The African Roots and Heritage Foundation, we started in 2006 in the city of Columbus, Ohio. Mm-hmm. Myself and another lady, Edith Cooper. And the reason why we started the African Roots and Heritage Foundation is because we noticed that in our population, we had 35 different African nations being represented with 10,000 people or more. And Columbus is a primarily small city in size. So no matter where you went, you've seen an African, a different African. And what we noticed is that the Kenyans lived in the north, the Nigerians lived on the west side, the Ghanaians lived in the east. And they were segregated. And so we said, how can we bring all of these communities and the African American community together to share culture, to encourage one another, to uplift one another, and mainly reconnect our ancestral roots so we can make a strong Africa no matter where we dwell in the earth, and no matter what time period we left Africa.
Now, Professor, I'm happy to know that over there, the Black Americans are interested in knowing about their roots, because we always have this feeling of a separation, those who actually live in Africa and those who left Africa a long time ago. This interest is something that should be encouraged, and it's good you're doing that. Now you're here in Cameroon. You have a presentation at the University of Yaoundé 1. Tell us about that.
Yes. On April the 15th, I'm going to be with the Department of African Literature and Civilizations, and we have launched the Anita Diop Scholarship of Excellence contest, encouraging the students to write essays on the importance of preserving African languages. And we're going to judge these essays and rank them, and according to the ranks, they will receive monetary rewards for their submissions. And this is to encourage the students, because they are our future. They are our future politicians, labormen, and whatever have you. So as the older generation, we believe it's our duty to pass on the mantle to the younger generations, to stir up their minds and understand that speaking their language is part of their identity, and they should be proud of it and not shy away from it.
So when will these scholarships be handed out?
On April the 15th.
Okay, at the University of Yaoundé 1. Do you already know those who have won the scholarships, or you'll be announcing that day?
We'll be announcing that day.
All right. Let's talk about you now, Professor. Okay. What piqued your interest to know more about your roots, and where did you discover you're from?
Okay. Well, it started when I was 6 years old.
Okay.
I dreamed about coming to Africa, meeting the kings and queens and chiefs and people of all nationalities. And I kind of forgot the dream until I went to college.
Okay.
And when I went to college, I had a class, Intro to African Studies.
Yeah.
And within 30 minutes, I said, yes, this is going to be my major. And then I had an opportunity to travel with one of my professors, and we did the 5 Faces of Africa, and we traveled to 5 different countries. And I just love Africa because I am Africa and Africa is me.
Lovely. And where did you discover you're from again?
Oh, I discovered through dreams again.
Okay.
One through my DNA test, but specifically last year when I traveled, I began to talk to different people, but I had an opportunity to meet with the elders and the chief of the Boxo chiefery, and I told them my dream, and they decoded my dream, and they welcomed me as a daughter of the Bassa people.
Okay, so you are officially a Cameroonian as well.
Yes.
We love that. Welcome to Cameroon. Now let's talk about your
Thank
experience in Cameroon. Have you visited around? This is your 4th time in the country.
Yes, this is my 4th time. And I have visited different kingdoms, and I have enjoyed meeting and learning about royalty.
Yes.
That's something that we don't have in America.
Okay.
So to go and learn the do's and don'ts, the respect and the titles, and getting used to calling individuals by their titles versus their first name is an awesome experience.
Prof, I want us to relax a little bit. What are some of the shocking experiences you had here? Shocking, fun, anything?
Shocking. One of the things that I look for is common personality traits.
Okay.
And in my hometown, my city, it's divided east side, west side. And the east side people have a particular characteristic that's different from the west side people.
Yes.
And I believe it was on my second trip that from the time I got to the airport to the time that I got to the apartment that I was staying, I just noticed that people got kind of loud and boisterous.
Where was that? Was it in Yaoundé?
It was from the airport. Yes, it was in Yaoundé.
Okay.
And then it was another incident. When we came from the airport, we were coming out of the parking lot, and they blocked the traffic, and they were going at it.
Oh, yes, that's what happened to the airports. Really, they're just like, welcome home. If you don't know Cameroon, this is Cameroon for you.
And I said, my God, these people are from the east side. These are our
Oh, they
east
remind
side people.
you.
Yes,
okay.
That's how they act.
Okay, and then what about the food? Have you had, of course you've eaten food here. What did you really like?
I love Cameroonian food. One of the things that I like is the, oh my God, it's leaving me, but it's with the greens.
Vegetables?
Vegetables, yes.
Okay. Ndole?
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Every time, most people coming here really, really love dole.
Yeah. And then another thing is that I like that the food is natural.
Yeah, it is.
Once you eat 1 or 2 days here, you can feel the difference in your body.
Okay.
And actually, last summer when I was here, I lost 20 pounds.
Our food helps you lose weight?
Yes, it did.
Interesting.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Yes.
It's true, we really don't have fast foods per se here. Most of it, you take time to cook it, so it's the cultural difference.
It's natural.
And it's natural.
And our foods tend to have more preservatives in it and things like that. So just raw natural food is very good to the body.
Okay, we've talked about language, we've talked about food. Let's talk a little bit about the outfits. What are your thoughts? Have you tried some of our traditional regalias here?
I have a few outfits, the kaba and the sawa kaba.
Yeah, the sawa kaba.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have purchased them, and actually I wore some the last time, and I have one that I'm going to wear on this trip that was made for me the last time, and it's from the Bamileke people. So when I wear it, you definitely recognize it's Bamileke.
The next time you come visiting, I really want you to wear that. So then people really know that you're a Cameroonian who lives in America.
Yes.
How about that?
Yes.
Okay, you said you have a presentation on language. We have to go back to that. You could talk about any other thing linked to culture.
Okay.
Why insist on language?
I insist on language because for me, our language was taken from us.
Yeah.
That language is your identity. So even in 2021, with all the advances living in America, we have still been robbed of our identity. And our DNA is just like the earthworm. If you cut it in half, it'll do everything it can to come back together. And this is where we are in the United States, and also throughout the diaspora in the Caribbean, the Bahamas, Chile, Brazil. We want to reconnect with our roots.
Yeah.
We want our full DNA working in full capacity.
Yeah.
So it's important because language is power. And I'll tell you about a program that I put on in 2011. And I say my ancestors talk to me. I was putting on a program and it says, everybody must speak their native language.
Okay.
They cannot speak French. They cannot speak English in this program. And I only speak English. But it was pressed upon me to have this program set up this way. And we did so. And I had a lady from Mauritania. There were 13 different African nations represented. No telling how many different languages, but 13 represented plus the African American community. And she sang a song, and within a few moments, everybody jumped up on their feet and they were clapping their hands and they got happy and excited. And she sang in Pular. Okay, and only her and one other person actually knew the language of Pular. And so when that happened, it was a phenomenon. I was like, what is going on? And I asked her after she finished singing the song, what was she singing about? And she said, brotherhood and unity.
Even without understanding, the people could feel it.
Exactly. The people could feel it. So that made me understand that the power of the language, if you just speak it, our ears may not comprehend it.
Yeah.
But our souls can comprehend it on a different level.
That's beautiful.
So that cemented for me the power of the spoken African tongue, no matter which language it is.
Have you learned any African language so far?
I have learned Kiswahili, and I know a little bit of Wolof.
In Cameroon, any language?
I'm learning a little bit. What is
From which part?
Mayegiba, Bassa.
Okay, from Bassa. That's interesting.
Yes.
Maybe you tell me some of the things you've learned from there.
Well, just how to say hello.
Yeah, let's try that. Hello. You can say that.
Mayegiba.
Mayegiba. Beautiful, because you know what, Prof? There are some Cameroonians who actually don't even know how to say that. But we have so many languages, over 300. So when we discover or we see your interest, even in one language, we see that your interest in promoting and preserving African culture and African languages is truly authentic. Now, what are your plans after the scholarship?
Well, after the scholarship, I also am participating in the SLAFCO 2 conference that's going on from April 19th through the 21st. And that's where I'll be presenting a paper on reclaiming and establishing the historical Cameroonian diaspora Cameroonian.
Okay. Please stay with us. It's time for a commercial break. We'll be right back after.
Okay.
As a Avec Nido Assure, vos enfants ont la bonne nutrition pour démarrer leur carême. Nido vous offre plus de lait pour le même prix. Nido, votre amour, leur avenir.
Nestlé, good food, good life.
Welcome back. Still in conversation with Professor Anita Diop, Executive Director of African Roots and Heritage Foundation. Maybe a final word to Cameroonians, because I see authenticity in your eyes on how much we have to preserve our culture that sometimes we take for granted. Maybe you tell us why it's so important to you so we can share in that emotion.
The reason why it is important is because it's our DNA.
Yeah.
And it was entrusted to us. And if we misuse our DNA, then we misuse ourselves. So we must absolutely be the holders and keepers of our traditions, of our language, of our identity. And people like us, we want to reconnect. We want something to reconnect to. So when I come to you, I don't want to know everything Western. I was born Western. I want to know everything African. So I hold you responsible for everything African, because our common ancestor will say at the end of the day, did you tell Anita her language?
Yeah.
Saying that she went through a tragedy. And likewise, they'll say, Anita, did you try to learn your language?
That's important.
Okay, so it's balanced. I have a responsibility to learn, and Africans have a responsibility to know and teach.
Professor Diop, I just want to add to that. That is beautiful to see someone from there interested in knowing, because you can't give to someone who is not willing to receive.
That's true.
But you've come all this way to receive, and I promise you, you're going to have the ultimate Cameroonian experience.
Thank you.
And I can see Danje, our daddy Danje in the house, nod into that, because he's told me that he's been giving you part of that experience already.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming. And to all of our viewers, thank you for watching. It's the Easter season, so we're going to wrap up this conversation, this entire program, with this song, Rest Assured, by Minister Etta. Until next time, let's cheers.
Now you do more. Now you do more. Now you do more. You go finish a more. Now you start the more. Now you do more. Now you do more. You go finish a more. Aye.
Bring one.
Yeah. Before I met the Lord, everything was. Before I met the Lord, everything was up and down. This is so personal, so you can't understand me. But we rest assured that Jesus Christ is God. Now you they handle my matter. Now you they share my